Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea, I hope you're all well. So this video is all about taking a moment to appreciate some of the awesome gear that I've had a chance to review on this channel over the year of 2019. So it's my top picks, let's say top 5, and the criteria for these are things like value for money, quality of sound, quality of playability, craftsmanship, everything. So I don't, it's not all high-end stuff. This could be really affordable things as well, just because for me it's about the application in context. And there's been plenty of bits of gear I've reviewed on this channel in 2019 that I truly believe is awesome and can be used anywhere from a beginner guitarist, musician, all the way up to professional touring session musician. So without further ado, let's begin my top gear picks of 2019. So let's start with number 5. My first pick is the Boss Katana Mk2 or Katana Amplifier. Now, some of you are going, oh, of course he was going to say that. We use them on Sound Like all the time. But this pick was purely based on value for money. Because when you look at the Katana 100 Mk2 or the Katana 50, it's sub £500. And to be perfectly honest, the quality of the Katana, the sounds, all the effects you can get in it, and the functionality using the foot switch, it's awesome. I really genuinely believe it's one of the best affordable amplifiers and most versatile amplifiers that you can buy. Such to the point where my dad got one, and he plays in a band out in Spain. He goes around touring and doing stuff, and he just got a Katana Mk2 with the foot switch, and it's completely changed his live show. He's able to navigate through all the different tones he wants with effects and all that kind of thing. And also, it's really worth pointing out that I just did a tour with Boss, a masterclass tour, using 2 Katana 100 Mk2s in stereo. So I did the whole stereo expand feature. And I played through Tosca stuff, I played through Grinding Gears stuff, and they absolutely delivered. So, as far as I'm concerned, for the money and for what you get, it's unreal. So let's have a quick look at some of the sounds and some of the effects that I used in that video of the Katana Mk2. Okay, so that was number 5, the Katana Mk2. In at number 4 is the Revv D20. So the reason I've chosen this amplifier is because what you get and what it's capable of for the kind of job that I do personally, being on YouTube, playing guitar, recording, reviewing gear, demonstrating, it couldn't be better fitted to that job, in the sense that you've got an all-valve amplifier, EL84, 20 watts switchable down to 4. It's got XLR out with a built-in 2 notes load box, which allows me to then add my own IRs on a switch on the front that I can rotate between, I think it's 6 different speaker cabinets that I can have loaded into the front. So when I'm at home reviewing, I can literally plug the pedal into the front because it's a fantastic pedal platform, and then take an XLR out, or go into my other cab sims, take 2 different cab sims if I want, depending on the product I'm reviewing, might change out the speakers. Full of, the wall of sound with all the effects and online stuff that you can use and download different presets and all that kind of stuff. They've kind of integrated Valve with the new modern world of like digital. It's a perfect hybrid, and I really think it's a great product. It sounds great, takes pedals good, it's easy to use, and it does all that other stuff. So let's take a little listen to how good the Revv D20 sounds. was number 4, the Revv D20. In at number 3, and this was difficult because I was trying to work out if this is cheeky or not to try and club it all together, but I've just figured it works. So I'm including the entire Neural DSP plugin range in at number 3. The reason for this is Neural DSP are really pushing the boat out of what you can get out of all digital plugin based guitar tones and bass tones. They really are awesome. If you've not tried them, I really recommend just going and getting a trial and plugging in either through monitors or in headphones and just having a go, because it's the feel. They really do feel good, especially if you run it on low latency, whether in your DAW or whatever, or if you have a super low latency interface. They just feel great, and the amount of tones you can get from them is insane. So the reason I'm including the range is because I've used loads of the different plugins for tracks that I've made, like In the Face of the Nameless, Black Friday. It was so easy to get tones. It was just so easy to get the tones and just start tracking. And the best bit is because it's all DI with a plugin over the top. If you want to change the tone, you can just jump in the session, tweak things, and you're not stuck with what you recorded in the studio. There is a beauty to that, to making it work. But what I'm sort of stressing is they're really just pushing the boat out of what you can do from home. The bass tones and the guitar tones you can get from any Neural DSP plugin are outstanding, especially for the modern guitarist. So let's take a quick listen to a couple of the tracks I'd made using exclusively Neural DSP plugins. So I hope you forgive me for choosing all of those plugins in at number 3, but I honestly think they're doing a great job. So that's my number 3 spot. Number 2 is the Mayones guitars that I reviewed. So Mayones are a company based out in Gdansk in Poland. They make hand-built, ultra premium quality guitars. They're definitely aimed more at the kind of modern player, I would say, but they also make incredible basses as well. But the reason that I chose to put these guys at number 2 was because, you know, they made these beautiful instruments. They sent them over and I got to play them, and I just have to say, the craftsmanship, the quality, the playability and the sound is outstanding. They really are and should be one of the main names up there in custom shop guitars. Now I know some of you are going, yeah, what about Chapman? What about Chapman and your own guitar? Now of course, you know, like that goes without saying. I have a signature model guitar and I work really closely with Chapman guitars. So I figured, you know, I don't think this particular gear picking situation, I want it to be that biased really with stuff like that. So that's why I chose not to. But of course, if you know me, you know that I love my signature model guitars with Chapman. Either way, I've chosen the Mayones because each of the guitars they gave me to review were absolutely stunning. They all did different things and I really, really enjoyed them. And I'm happy to say that I was able to keep the Regis Core Classic, which was that kind of sort of natural finish, roasted guitar. And it's an absolute beast. I love it. So let's take a listen to some of the tones from that video. Okay, so there you have number 2, the Mayones Guitars, stunning. But we're in at number 1 now, and this is my top pick piece of gear for 2019, and that is the Strymon Volante. So again, you say, oh, I'm trying to say I'm not being biased here because I absolutely love Strymon, but the reason that I chose the Volante was because Strymon have a strange effect on me when it comes to particularly delay and reverb effects. I just think that they do it better than anyone else. That's my personal opinion. It's not saying that that is the way it is. It's just my taste in reverb and delay. I haven't found anyone that does it as satisfyingly, hourly as Strymon. So I'm a huge fan. Anyone that's followed my channel for a while knows this. So it should come as no surprise that I've chosen the Volante as number 1. But the reason is, if you're in the studio or you work in studios and you've done a lot of recording in your time, you may have noticed in a lot of professional studios they have things like the Roland Space Echo and stuff like that, or old school tape, reel-to-reel tape machines that you can use, or tape echoes, that kind of thing. And they have a sound that you just can't recreate really. You can't, the way the tape runs through and I don't know the technical reason why it's so awesome, but there's a certain sound that a tape echo, tape delay will give you that is just invaluable. And we used it all over the Tosca record, and generally speaking, use it all the time. And it wasn't until Strymon brought out Volante where it was the most accurate representation of a magnetic drum echo, tape echo, reel-to-reel that I'd come across, to the point where I use it all the time in the studio. It's patched in, and I can quickly send signal to it, use it as a tape echo, a reel-to-reel tape echo kind of machine. Because let's face it, those machines are going to break one day. They can be serviced and serviced and serviced, and they're going to be amazing for how long they serve their time. But one day, it might cease to work properly. And something like this comes in that does a really damn good job of recreating that. It's inspiring. You can do more cool manipulative stuff with it than you can with an actual tape echo. And I just think the quality of sound is incredible. So that's kind of why I've picked it, and I suppose I've waffled a little bit as to why. Bottom line is, this does such a good job of inspiring me, giving me awesome delays and reverbs that I genuinely find invaluable in my recordings. A great example is the beginning of Now and Then, all of that intro before the guitar comes in was using this, exclusively this, with a combination of synths and guitars. And it just, barely had to do anything and it sounded that good. So it's effortlessly inspiring, it's easy to use, it sounds fantastic, and I couldn't recommend it highly enough. Yes, they're expensive, but it's an investment. So yeah, anyway, let's take a listen to some of the awesome tones that I got using the Strymon Volante. So there you go, there's my top 5 personal gear choices of 2019. But before we end, let me give you some honourable mentions. Firstly, the Origin Effects Revival Compact. I think this pedal is fantastic. It's relatively recent that I reviewed it, but it's such a good pedal, and I used it in front of a bunch of different amplifiers, got brilliant tones. I even used it for the lead section in Silo, which is the track I did for the release of the bare knuckle pickups, and it just sounded fantastic. So absolutely outstanding pedal. Again, horribly expensive, but does a very, very good job. Next up is my good friends at Walrus Audio, specifically the EB10 that they released this year. The reason is that a programmable EQ with a boost in front it has done such wonders to my live tone, being able to shape for different sections. Like I can take a crunch that I want to be more scooped and behind the mix. I can quickly program in preset 1, dip out sort of 6 to 9 dB of mid, add a boost to give a bit of hair on top, and it can be the same sound that I use when I turn it off to give me a hard rock crunch. So it's adaptable, it's a really good tool. Walrus Audio as a company are awesome, very good friends, and I think they're wicked. I love what they do. So there you go, there's my second honourable mention, Walrus Audio. My next honourable mention is Keeley Synth-1. This pedal does such a fantastic job of recreating that analog Moog synthesizer. It's really easy to use and it sounds fantastic. Me and Dave both have one on our pedal boards. You know, it's not over complex, it sounds really good, and there's a load of cool effects that you can use it for, specifically in Tosca. But more importantly, Keeley Electronics as a company. Robert Keeley is an awesome dude. All the guys there, Aaron Pierce that I work with, doing demos and stuff, they've always been great, super accommodating, really nice guys. So I'm just saying a huge thank you to those guys as well. My next honourable mention, and one that I just wanted to share this clip with you as well, is Jam Pedals, because although I don't often review their gear, I have done a bunch of reviews over the years with them, but the last lot of pedals I reviewed with them I found so immediately inspiring that I actually came up with a little tune on the spot that I actually really enjoy listening to myself. I was like, that's really cool, and it was completely improvised. So forgive me for enjoying my own playing or whatever, you know, in videos, but this particular clip I was really proud of the way it came out. So, and that's why they're in the honourable mentions, because it inspired me and it felt good to play, so I created this. So here you go, have a look at this. Penultimate honourable mention is Beetronics. The reason that I love Beetronics is their branding, their ideas, their designs are just so good. I think that they do such a good job of keeping things on brand. All the names of all the pedals are named after things to do with bees. Even their circuit boards on the inside of their pedals are like hex shaped, like bee honeycomb and stuff. And their merch and just their whole branding is unreal. It's really intelligent, and I love that. On top of the fact that their pedals have such vibe, like the Royal Jelly, the Octahive, the Swarm. 3 of those pedals that I've used and really enjoyed, and they're going to get put on so many recordings because they do mental sounds, such as the Swarm that gives you the perfect video game tone, which you will see right now. Last of my honourable mentions, but certainly not least, is 2Notes, specifically the Cab M that they released this year. You all know that I've used 2Notes gear for many years now. It's one of my main load boxes, the Torpedo Studio. I just think they did such a good job of bringing that kind of product to the mainstream market, being able to, record at home. It literally changed my home recording life, getting one of those, and they do it so well. And, the thing is that although there were people that did it before them, I feel like 2Notes were the first company to do it in a way that really made sense for people that record at home. Being able to control mic positionings, adding reverb, adding compression, adding post EQ, putting your own IRs on there, blending 2 IRs together. Yeah, unreal. And the range of products is fantastic. So 2Notes are definitely one of my favourite brands when it comes to load box technology and just generally home recording. But the Cab M, the reason that I've given this the honourable mention is because now they've become an invaluable part of my live in-ear monitoring rig for Tosca, because I put them in between the head and cab, XLR straight to my in-ears, and I just get my own IRs, custom EQ'd, everything perfect in my in-ears. Bespoke, 2 little boxes just sat on top of each amp. It couldn't be better. Really enjoy that. And although the Torpedo Live was fantastic, had the load box element, which I didn't need for live because I use cabs. So just having the speaker sim emulation for my in-ears only it's just been immense to have that. So 2Notes, keep doing what you're doing. You do a fantastic job. That would be all my honourable mentions. It is worth saying that, of course, companies like Bare Knuckle Pickups that I've just released a signature pickup with, again, I felt that was a little bit biased and a bit of a cop-out, but of course, love my silos. If you haven't tried them, please do. Chapman Guitars, of course, Victory amps, but I use these are my endorsements, so I felt let's just move those to one side and give you genuinely what I think has been some of the most awesome gear that I've come across this year. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope that it may have helped you make some decisions on some gear, or at least shed a little light on at least why I think they're really good. So let me know what your favourite gear has been that's come out this year, or if you agree or disagree with any of my choices. That would be awesome. Please do so in the comment section below, and I will also link in all my picks into the description box below. Like, subscribe and share. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all very soon.